Welcome to That One Time in Business with me, your host, Casey Renee, a creative director and brand strategist who has 1,000,001 stories and lessons to share. Now remember, these are teachable moments with a twist and a laugh. So let's get started. All right, so boom. I'm going to talk to you today about the time I ran into a job, even though I own a business, okay? So, and I want, first of all, before we start, make this a gem right here off the break. Entrepreneurs, business owners, it is okay to run into a job, even though you own your own, to pick up some extra money to continue to fund your dreams. Because that's where a lot of people, they get messed up at. They like, yo, I own my own. I'm going to stand on this hill till I die. And like, they could be crumbling or breaking at the seams and need extra money. There's nothing wrong with doing Uber Eats. There's nothing wrong with contracting. I just say as long as something that's still aligned with your passion or still allows you time for your passion, then please do it. I dropped a gem in the first 1 minute of this podcast. You're welcome. All right, so I went into a job. I decided to apply. Now, was I looking for the job or did the job find me? Debatable. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can just all say in God's time, in God's will, and somehow ended in it. So I was actually really excited about this job. This job was nothing but women. I mean, there were some men that worked there, but it stood on the ground of making women better. And it was a nonprofit, and I was just loving everything that they do, women's right, advocacy, all these type of things. So I'm excited because where my business is women led, owned, operated. So I was really excited. So I was like, I'm going to learn a lot of things, because also one thing about me that is true is that I want to open doors. So sometimes it's really hard because you get so used to operating in a space that you're used to or operating for what you know, you kind of miss the actual standards of what's going on in these agencies. So what I do with my agency is cognizant of these four walls and what happens with the people that I have. But there's really human resources, there's accountant, and I have these, but they're contracted. They're not in my presence. There's interns that really have to be coddled. There's higher ups, lowers, everything. Okay. So I was really excited to kind of see what that looked like, because I haven't been in an agency in a while. Now, was this just a design agency? Absolutely not. They had different sectors. I was just a design agency. So, I was in the design team. So I took the job. I was excited. When I first started, the onboarding process was shit. Like, granted, to their defense, I'm not going to be a whole asshole. To their defense, they had a lot going on with programs that were really beneficial to the community. So, like, get that done. But there has to be checks and balances somewhere. So it was shit. So that was red flag number one. And that could be for your personal or your end game. Even if your business and you're not onboarding on people correctly, that's a problem. Or if you're entering to a space in there and not onboarding you correctly, that's a problem too. So that's another gem that you can just ding, because it was absolutely crazy. So I start to go. It really took me about 3 weeks to even really kind of, I'm not going to lie, be acknowledged. Like, I'm here. And that's crazy, because wait till I tell you about the end of the story. So it took like 3 weeks for people to even be like, oh, this is a person, she's here, she has it. So I worked alongside a particular woman. I don't think that she was really feeling me. But I digress. I'm an energy person. I wasn't getting the vibe. But again, we weren't in the same four walls at that time. I did go into the office here and there. But my relationship with her was through like Zoom and stuff. I felt like she didn't like me, which was crazy, because the interview, I felt like she really liked me. It happens. It's fine. I'm not going to take it too personal. So I start to do my work. And one thing that I learned about this particular agency is they had a lot of different jargon from what I'm used to or design standards. So this is one reason why I tell people it's very important to flex your muscle of reading and always studying. You need to be a forever student in your own business, or even when you work with people, because you need to constantly have something to bring to the table, because you can be replaced. And also, if you are an owner, you need to ensure that you have the skill set to make you valuable. you know? So the jargon was really messed up. I would like sit there and be like, this is what this is. And they was like, a banner? No. So they call a logo they call a banner a logo. So they're like, I need a logo. And I'm like, oh shoot, I love fucking doing logos. Let's get it. And then I would like start sketching logos. And then they would be like, no, this is a logo. It'll be a web banner. I was like, what in the world? So it was a disconnect there. So this is already like starting to be like, oh shit, this, I don't know. Okay, cool. Let me see what I can do. So there's a couple of stories within this. Like this could be a part 1, 2, and 3, but we're going to start here. Now, if I come back to this, I'll table it for her. I'm going to move into what's important to me, which was when I had a correspondence with the said president at the time. So I was really excited to work alongside the president. She was very visionary. She wanted to be, all the things, especially because this nonprofit had the space and opportunity to be something. I mean, they are amazing. I'm not going to take away what they do, but the inner workings, like it could have visually met what they're doing. So I'm excited. And they had a conference and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to design for this conference. She was like, go ahead, take the lead. So I'm doing all the elements for the conference and it's time to present it. And this is where all the problems start right here. Well, no, there was already problems, but this is where it was like, this is where you made the podcast at. Like, you could have just, some people are like, you got bad experiences, but what's the experiences that started you to talk behind this mic? This is one of the experiences that made me talk behind this fucking mic, okay? So I'm in there and I come up with 2 concepts. I gave options and I said, okay. And I'm excited. One thing, baby, like Jay-Z said, I'm going to sell water to a well, okay? I am a pitcher. I don't, especially of my work or anything that I have conceptualized, baby, Casey at the back, Casey Jones. They don't call me Casey for a reason. So I was ready. She, however, in business, it's really hard because we're still in this gap, right? We're in this gap of millennials, Gen Z, baby boomers. White men that just need to die because they making rules that shouldn't fucking be here. Okay, anyway. So we're in a mixing bowl right now. It's weird. It's very weird. So the problem was I presented it to her. And what ended up happening was I presented it to her and she was like, basically tell me about it. So I went through it and I had I remember one concept, I had pink and reds and things like that, right? One concept was pink and green, not because I'm an AKA, but it was just, it flowed. And then it had blue and stuff in it. And then I had this baby pink, red, all these type of colors. And she was like, explain it to me, cool. So I explained it. Well, then she came back and was like, I don't like these colors.
Hate it.
Okay. I'm not designing for you. I'm designing for the people that are going to attend this conference. So she was like, I don't like these colors. And I was like, again, it's not for you. But the good thing about if you are good at what you do, baby, you will always be able to tell people why you did what you did. So, me, humbly, I said, well, you're not the target market. This is the target market and you are considered a millennial. These are for baby boomers who you want to get in the door. And if you think back then, baby boomers with pink and blue is none of this non-binary, which is all these colors that you try to give other people. They were very straight to the point. So therefore we need to cater to them knowing that this is a female-led event. We are not getting into the dynamics of binaries or whatever. This is for you to help, instill growth in what the target audience and area we were trying to promote at that time. Okay. Because your baby's ready. The girl is always ready with the reason. I got fired a week later. I got fired a week later. What I tell you. So I guess that was not where I think that company, that nonprofit wanted yes men. And I just couldn't play that role. You know what I'm saying? So here's a gem. Always be yourself. Always be authentic to what you believe in. I'm not saying there's a way to be authentic and do it without being disruptive. Because some people I'm learning are that fine line. Like there's a thing of like knowing what you know and being authentic and trying to make a change. And then there's a thing of I know what I know, but I'm gonna be disruptive. Now you could be disruptive for a good cause, but always daily, like there's no need for that. And I guess they kind of felt like I was being disruptive. And they even said in the write-up, I was insubordinate, right? Did I even tell you how long I was there at this time? I was there for 2 months at this time. I lost that job. I lost that job in 60 days. The way I ran and got my teeth done, I went to the doctors and everything. Cause baby, one thing for sure, two things for certain. I'm gonna use up your insurance, okay? So I went and got everything I needed to do. Because do I think I was gonna get fired soon? That soon? No. But I knew I was also probably gonna quit soon too. So like we just genuinely wasn't working. So I ended up it was a write-up, and then HR ended up calling me and was like, there's more. We're going to do a part 2 for this. But anyway, so for the firing, HR ended up hitting me up and was like, yeah, it was told that you're being insubordinate. Your direct person, the one we talked about before, who I will probably do a part 2 about, she was saying that, she would ask you to do things and you weren't doing them. And I was like, but it wasn't what she was asking. It was the incorrect language. It was a disconnect. It was a language barrier, And also on top of that, I think she think I wanted her job. I don't want your job.
I talk better than you. I hustle better. I can get $1 quicker than you. I talk better. I walk better. My shoes fit me better. I get paid more than you.
I don't want your shit. I got my own shit. So that was that. And then after I basically was like, it ain't about you, sis, to the president. Oh, baby, it was a wrap. It was stamped. It was like, I don't think this is a good fit. This is for you. When I tell you, when HR told me that, I literally started laughing. And she was like, she was kind of compassionate. Like, I don't think she ever seen no shit like that. Cause I was like, we were on Zoom and I'm like a real laugh. And she's like, you okay? Like, I don't know if she knew if it was nervous or like, oh shit, she about to do some shit. Like, like, is this a villain? Is this an origin story laugh? Like, I don't think she know what the fuck to take from it. So I was like,
I don't feel no ways. I don't feel any way about it.
Nah, it's all good. I own my own shit. Like, I think I cussed, actually. I'm not even kidding you. I was like, I'm good. I don't give a fuck about this. Like, and it wasn't to be cocky or say, because I know there's some people out there that can't leave their jobs. So it's not to minimize like that. But I stood on my hill that I was standing on is, I know what I know. And sometimes when you don't know what you don't know. But that wasn't the case. I was very secure in what I was doing, and I was there to help, not disrupt. But I was read all wrong. And once that happened, it was nothing that I could do. And you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. So I was personally like, all right, this ain't it. You know what I'm saying? I wrote a letter. To the agency. And baby, when I tell you I CC'd everybody, I'm talking about down to contractors. And it wasn't to be a bitch. It was to address the concerns of, if this is an organization built on helping women and all this other stuff, I felt targeted. I felt like I wasn't heard, appreciated. And I also kind of felt like there's going to be no movement if there's no help. You can't do things by yourself. It takes a village. And I felt like she was just shitting on the village. Because I wasn't even though I was new, when you get into an office, people tell you shit. You know what I'm saying? People be like, I am stay away from Tracy. Okay. Or, you don't want to be near Bob. You get those things. So I was receiving those things anyway. I knew too much. I knew way too much. So I was like, okay, so it's not just me. Now, the good thing is, did I feel like I was a martyr? Fuck yeah, I felt like I was a martyr in that situation because I ain't have shit to lose. But there's people in there that had shit to lose that couldn't lose their jobs that I would talk to daily about problems. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to take this time and writing this letter. I'm not going to directly like put, I know Ann said, I'm not doing that. But in all encompassing, I can do this and I ain't got shit to lose. I don't have to put you on a resume. You're non-existent. This 2 months was nothing to me. I don't have to say that I met you. So I wrote this letter. And I basically said, and I'm gonna put the letter on Instagram for this episode. Oh wait, no, I gotta alter it because the name of the place. But anyway, I basically said, like, I was excited to work with you guys because you were a woman-led situation, and my goal. So, because I didn't hide it when I first did the interview, I told him I had my own agency, so it was nothing that I was trying to hide. So I was like, I was excited to learn from this environment, and I didn't learn anything. I said I had a boss who doesn't know what she's doing. She's basically throwing out wrong jargon and things like that, and it's very disheartening that when I try to be a person to help, I was basically reprimanded and being called disruptive. Because in essence, also, I'm a Black woman. You call me disruptive is pretty much the same thing as you call me aggressive. Cause you ain't like, and I'm gonna be real, this was a white lady. And I'm not the color person. Like, I am not that type of person. But in that situation, I could see it was the verbiage that was explained. It's so many adjectives in the world. It's so many adjectives in the world. But I felt like that was the go-to. Insubordinate, disrupt, like, I didn't like that type of stuff. I was like, okay, So anyway, and then I said, there is a leader here who basically, she's only about herself. She only cares about herself, because I would like do designs and her face need to be on everything that I was designing. This ain't about you, sis. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was annoyed, and that really bothered me. And I put that in the letter, and I was just like, you have, with this nonprofit, it's too much of an opportunity to do great, to make people feel so small. And their turnover rate was terrible. So I was like, it's just too many opportunities that you guys are missing being vain. And it's very unfortunate. And this is why women, because I don't do this just the color thing. This is why women get a bad rep. Like, they can't work together. They can't do these things because of stuff like this. You get one woman in power and they think like, oh, I'm the head bitch in charge. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but I was here to help. I was excited. I wasn't here to do anything else. So that really upset me. So I put all of that. It was a little bit more aggressive than that. I don't remember the words verbatim, but that was the gist of the letter. And I'm glad I sent the letter. And did I want to cuss it? Oh God, the way my sister had to put grammar to my letter, because she was like, no, Casey. Because I was like, and fuck y'all. And my sister was like, okay, we're not going to do that. And I said, no, I don't need these motherfuckers on my resume. And she was like, but you never know who knows who, you'll fuck around and get fucked, not get fucked up, but you'll fuck up some shit in the future that you might have coming down the pipeline. I was like, man, whatever, young. So I did it and I sent it. And this is what was so funny, how I said at the beginning, at the top of the episode, where I said, it took 3 weeks for people to fucking realize that I was even there. I promise you, I sent that letter to everybody on staff, right? Why 2 to 3 weeks later did I get a call from one of them? Hey, Casey, we need this document. I said, what the fuck? I said,
huh?
I said, what? What document? I said, I ain't gonna say her name. I was like, and she was older. I said, I don't work there anymore. And she was like, oh, you the one with the email. I said, yeah, that's me. She was like, oh, well, I'm proud of you. Like, she was sweet, but I was like, this is crazy how y'all clearly still got shit fucked up internally. I've been gone for 3 weeks and you literally called me for something. So yeah, so that was the story of that. But my lessons learned are: get a job if you need to. Do never, ever, ever feel like you are so above things that you cannot always increase your revenue, your learning, your everything, because there's so many things that we do not know. And you'll never be wronged for trying to learn something new. You know what I'm saying? Make it make sense, make it in reason, and keep focus of your goals. But you can always make it. Also, what I learned is maybe I do need to sit back. I really did learn that from that job. If I needed to apply to another job, realistically, I might need a leadership position. I'm not saying I'm not employable, but I think, because look, a lot of entrepreneurs, they're so far gone. It's like, it is hard. So I don't think I'm not employable. I think I can't have too many people on top of me because of what I already have learned and accomplished. And I'm proud of all that. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's now just, I had to learn myself like, all right, Casey, there's no more, you going to be a junior or whatever, or you think you just going to be baseline. Now you need to go for senior, or you need to go for the creative director. Like you need to go up there and try it because I have the resume. So I learned that. I also learned that it does take some more self-reflection you have to remain authentic. And once you remain authentic to yourself, then you'll know if things are not the right fit. Because if I wasn't authentic to myself, which that stuff takes time in therapy, that's a whole nother, not even business situation. But if I wasn't authentic to myself, I might have stayed longer just because I was like, dang, I really could use that extra money. Instead of like, this is a mental thing. Now I am aware and disclaimer, I know that everybody does not have that option. You know what I'm saying? So I am a big advocate of therapy. I do Talkspace. So Talkspace, if you would like to sponsor me, please do. But I use Talkspace. I'm a big advocate. You have to let this stuff out. But in being in touch with yourself, it's a lot of shit that you will not take. But you will definitely not take it within a scope of not being disruptive, but, professionally be able to come and be like, hey, this I cannot do, and setting boundaries for yourself. So those are the things that I learned that one time in business that I went into somebody else's business. And with that being said, to the first boss, I ain't even worry about you and your cats. You can kiss my ass with that. She said cats that used to run through the back of the screen. Shit used to piss me off. Anyway, I'm allergic. Anyway, I ain't worry about you. And to the president, for you. I still wish you the best without you need to do better, because from a woman to a woman, there's no way that you should have led me astray like that and down me because you didn't like what I was doing, and shame on you. And also, I know for certain that conference was some shit because I did not finish doing the graphics for it. And you needed me. Goodbye.